Hi, I'm Will Saris. I'm an actor and YouTube host who's always been interested in the intersection between history and entertainment. And what better person to embody that than P.T. Barnum? Welcome to Who is Barnum to You, a lively discussion that celebrates personal connections, insights, and inspirations drawn from Barnum's life, based on fact, fiction, fun, or just plain imagination and nostalgia. Today, we're going to be talking to Joe Barney, who is a performer and an event producer. Joe, welcome to Who is Barnum to You? How are you?
I am good. How are you today?
I'm doing well. So give me a little bit of your background first.
Well, I live in Bridgeport, home of PT for years and years, and I am a event producer that leans towards the circus. I've performed with the Big Apple Circus, Ringling Bros, various theme parks across the country, and the Barnum Museum is a second home to me. So that's why it's important for me to be, I still have a very strong connection with Barnum and the museum.
Neat. So the big question, of course, on the show is, who is Barnum to you? So give me a little bit about who Barnum is to you and what your background is with him.
P.T. Barnum has been, it's almost as if he was a mentor. And he's been gone for so long. But to figure that that man has been, as I said, gone, dead for God knows how many years at this point, but he's so prevalent in people's minds and the thought of American entertainment. If it wasn't for Barnum, we would not have entertainment that has been in existence in America forever. You know, you figure the circus, which is still in existence, is popular now and still popular. Has it undergone changes? Yes. But you look at the fact that all the marine parks, the aquariums, all of that came from Barnum. The fact of superstars, look at, you know, Madonna, Michael Jackson, all of that. Where do you think superstars and concerts came from? It was Barnum with Jenny Lind. So it was all that stuff that we think, oh, this is a great invention. Barnum did that. And to be able to be part of that legacy, not just in the Barnum name, but in the entertainment legacy of what he created, has meant the world to me and my family. It has not only affected my life since I was I started when I was 5 years old. I walked into this museum when I was 5 years old and went to Ringling Bros, Barnum and Bailey in New York City at the Old Garden when I was 5 years old and instantly fell in love with the circus. And all through, I started performing for public shows when I was 12 years old as a clown.
Wow.
And to this day, I still perform. Matter of fact, I performed last night, and here I am this morning. And we have, like Barnum, have taken the changes in the entertainment world as much as he did and what he's gone through, or such as the fires in the museums and everything else. I mean, here we are facing with the COVID-19 issues in the pandemic right now, and how do we turn that around to bring some happiness and joy to people again through what basically Barnum created. I mean, Barnum created the American Circus as we know it. If you look at all the America's Got Talent, you look at all the different shows, we all laugh in the circus community, the entertainment community, that a couple of years ago that a dog act won $1 million on TV for being America's Greatest Talent. And ladies and gentlemen, the dog acts have been around in the American circus for hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of years. So it really is, the man changed the face of America. There's no question about it. He knew what people wanted to see. And he created an audience. So he could sit down and take a mummified half of a monkey and a mummified half of a fish, sew them together, and convince people through public relations, through billboards, through ads, that they were literally looking upon a mermaid.
Right.
A mermaid.
Right.
Do you look at the fact today, in 2020, going into 2021, people still want to see mermaids. Mermaids are as popular today as they were back then.
Oh, yeah.
You look at all the movies on mermaids, you look at the fact that you can now go to these tropical island hotels and spend the morning in the pool with your child with mermaids. Weeki Wachee Springs in Florida. What's old is new again. It's still out there. Barnum still exists. It's like knowing the fact that no matter where you look in the entertainment world, TV, Broadway, concerts, music, amusement parks, theme parks, zoos, aquariums. If you pull that curtain back up, you're going to find something of P.T. Barnum in every one of those experiences.
That's yeah, it's so true. I hadn't thought about the TV aspect of that with the dog show winning. Like, yeah, I remember going as a kid and seeing circuses, and everyone had a dog show where they run around and go through the thing and all of that.
And you see the performers now that they're literally the producers of America's Got Talent, not only in America, but England, Italy, France, Germany, all over the world. Yeah. We are contacted through Facebook, through postings about, you're a circus performer, what do you do? We'd love to have you on America's Got Talent. There's awesome. Roller skaters, there's on platforms, there's contortionists who shoot bows and arrows bent over. There are people who balance other people on their heads. Nothing that wasn't seen 150 years ago or 60 years ago. And people are going, oh my God. Yeah. You know what? 60 years ago, 200 years ago, when Barnum was around, there were people going, oh my God.
Yeah. So. Exactly. So what would you say was the inspiration from Barnum for you? Because you said you came to the museum as a little kid.
Right.
You obviously became a clown and now a performer and a producer of performances and stuff. What inspired you about him?
What inspired me about Barnum was Barnum never gave up. That was something that amazes me, is that not many people, everybody, when they hear the name Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, they all think that Barnum was this spectacular success from the get-go. He wasn't. The man worked for everything he got. And he came up with ideas that nobody else would even fathom or would even chance. And people called him a humbug, a charlatan, and everything else. But you know what? He became one of the best loved people in America. He was as well known in the entire world as any of the presidents of the United States for his time. He was friends with Abraham Lincoln. He was friends with the Queen of England. Friends, not just, oh, it's Barnum, friends. He was considered a superstar in his own life. But that didn't start from the get-go. I mean, the man worked for what he brought to the table. And he worked hard. And he sacrificed many hours of family time and everything else. And to me, he was the essential, I was given lemons, I'm going to make lemonade. You look at the fact that now, for years, America had massive firework displays, which was also a Barnum idea. Here in America. But now they've gone to drones.
Right. To
drones to create Santa Clauses and American flags. I just watched a drone show the other night where Santa Claus morphed into 4 or 5 different characters, all through drones. Do you know if P.T. Barnum was alive today? I am sure that man would have had a patent on a drone show, or he was selling tickets somewhere already on the drone show.
Oh, yeah.
Because he knew what people wanted to see. Barnum was put on this earth to use his talents to do what he did, to create the circus, to create all those other aspects of his life. I believe I was put on this earth to make people smile. And that if I don't do that, and I don't carry out what I consider now as my destiny, then I'm almost committing a sin. That it is not right. And every day, I've been in this business now well over 50 years. And you know what? 50 years, I've never gone to work a day in my life because I have had the ability to perform and to play and to have a great time. I have 6 children, and my wife tells everybody she has 7 children, and Joe is the oldest. And I think that's something, too, that Barnum thought like that, too. You know, he was known as the children's friend. And I believe that's with me too. I look at ways that when I plan a show or I perform or produce a show or do work at a theme park, I look at it through the audience eyes. I look at it through the kids' eyes. Can the kids see everything? Is this something that they want to see? How many times have I gone to do a Christmas show at an entertainment venue, such as a theme park and everything else, and well, we're going to have 6 singers and 7 dancers and this, and then I sit back and I go, do you really think little 6-year-old Billy wants to see someone come out and sing Christmas songs and tap dance?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
But when I bring out dogs that dance and dress in costumes, or I bring out a 400-pound pig wearing a Santa beard and a Santa hat, oh my God.
They go nuts.
The world goes nuts. The kids go nuts. And to me, I'm blessed with that. And still being able to get up and perform and to be able to do what I do tracks back from what I fell in love with in the beginning with Barnum. And not only did I fall in love with Barnum and the circus, but I'm a voracious reader. And I have read almost every book that I can think of that I could get my hands on Barnum, on Tom Thumb. And that has opened doors to me like unbelievably. Performing as P.T. Barnum for the greatest show on earth. I actually got to ride down Broadway on top of an elephant dressed as Barnum to celebrate I forget, was it the 150th anniversary of Madison Square Garden?
Oh, yeah.
Because Barnum built the first Madison Square Garden. And I rode down on the elephant as Barnum for Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey to purchase a ticket to the circus, to the opening night of the circus. And to me, it was just amazing. But like, things here is that people do not realize that Barnum was so instrumental in his vision for Bridgeport. And Barnum started the hospital, board of directors of Bridgeport Hospital. Barnum board of directors started the water company, started the Bridgeport Port Jefferson Ferry. He was involved in so much. So at one point, Charlie Brilovich, which was the city historian through the town hall, he and I came up with a Barnum walking tour for downtown Bridgeport. So I would dress as Barnum, meet them here, and we had big crowds. We would do lunchtime walks as Barnum through downtown Bridgeport, and I would stop at the buildings that I had pieces of or that I did things with and everything else, and it opened people's, oh my God, I didn't know Barnum did that.
Yeah.
And my son followed in my footsteps because he loved Barnum and all of that, and he joined Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, and performed with Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey for 7 years. Stayed with the show for 7 years. And it was kind of funny because one of the, and I believe this is a great honor for my family and for my son, but my son is the last sideshow performer that was ever hired by the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. And to think that the sideshow was brought with Barnum and that my son was the last person hired by that organization. My son at a very early age came to me and said, I want to learn how to swallow swords.
Okay.
Okay. I want to learn how to eat fire. And I believe he was 13 or 14, because I'll never forget when he was 16, he asked me for a straitjacket for Christmas. A unique aspect, because he wanted to learn how to escape. So he and I drove down to Coney Island to visit Dick Zigan and Todd Robbins, the best in the sideshow business, and he learned how to eat fire and walk on glass and swallow swords, all of that.
Wow.
And in one of the shows that Ringling had, it was called Barnum's Phenomenon, that celebrated P.T.'s 200th birthday. And they had a performer that did all of that. At that time, my son was a clown on the show. That performer blew the show. And blow the show means is that he was with the show one day, and they woke up the next day and he wasn't.
Wow.
He left overnight in the dark. So they came out the next morning and said, can anybody do this, this, and this, and this? Here's my little son, the skinny little fellow with freckles going. And everybody at the circus went, but you're a clown. He goes, I am a clown, but I can do that.
Right.
So that next day he came out and then worked for the last 2 years in the show in Center Ring as part of the Barnum celebration. And to me, you can't, that made me so happy that followed in Dad's footsteps. But also, in the Barnum footsteps.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter, who is now 22, is in art school. And she got into, this is her senior year, but she got into art school because she exhibited in her portfolio the pictures of the front doors of the museum, of the carvings, and especially on the front door is a very unique lock from the Yale Lock Company, which was prevalent during Barnum's time here, but named from Yale, and everything else. But here my daughter was accepted into the Ringling School of Art for taking pictures of the doors of the Barnum Museum. So this man, P.T. Barnum, has touched the lives of my family so much and in so many different ways. It's like he's been a guardian angel. Yeah. And to me to sit here again, and I come all the time because this is a place for me like inspiration. And I feel his presence. And I don't mean that as a mumbo jumbo and let's call, America's reality and, all that. And no, I don't see Sasquatch walking through Beardsley Park, but I feel Barnum's presence here.
Yeah, that's neat.
But
before we finish, I want to ask you, I've been noticing a tattoo on your arm.
Yes, I have a tattoo.
Tell me about the tattoo. What does it say?
As you know, when we did, I played Barnum for the premiere of, not only did I did Barnum for the premiere of Water for Elephants, which was nice, but I also did Barnum as a premiere for The Greatest Showman. Okay. So after that meant that you can't get any, to me that was the pinnacle of what I do. But my kids got together and said, Dad, we want to get you a tattoo. And whenever your kids come up to you and say, Dad, we're going to get you a tattoo, I was like, am I going to look like, the hangover all of a sudden shot into my mind that I was going to wake up with this horrific tattoo. And we went to the tattoo parlor, and I have a tattoo. It's from P.T. Barnum right here, so it reminds me every time I look at my arm, and it says, a quote from P.T., "The noblest art is that of making others happy." P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
And that's with me
what he was
every minute, every waking minute. It's with me all day and all night. And that's what shapes my life. The art of making others happy is the noblest art in mankind. And I truly believe that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sitting down with us, Joe. And we will talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you. Had a great time.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Who is Barnum to You is produced and directed by Rui Pino, Tom Victor, and Will Saris, with thanks to Stephen Cardone. Please don't forget to subscribe to the Barnum Museum channel. That helps the museum out a lot. Click on that thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the video, or if you want to make a suggestion for a future show. And if you can make a charitable donation to the Barnum Museum, please do so. That helps us bring you new episodes. All the links are in the description. Don't forget, the noblest art is that of making others happy. See you real soon.